Do it. Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success. Well, you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You get to the point where anyone else would quit. And you're not going to stop there. Timing was off. I messed up. No. Do it. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. And then he flexes. Yeah. Morning, everybody. My name is Jared O'Leary, and I am now in the mood to stream. Thanks to Shia. Thanks, Shia. Appreciate you. You got me. All right, we're going to be doing some drumming this morning, and I'm specifically going to be working on my left hand. And the reason why is because I've been playing drums for 25 years now, and most of it was doing traditional when I was like marching and whatnot for like high school, drum corps, and college, and I've switched over to match since then. My left hand does not really have the, I was going to say grace, but that's my wife's name. It doesn't have the elegance of the right hand in terms of its efficiency, its power, etc., etc., etc. So I'm trying to get my left to match my right, just to like fix some of the little inconsistencies and differences. So I'm going to focus on that today. But before I do that, I'm going to warm up. And I'm going to warm up with one of the free play-alongs on my website. There's 1,700 hours of free drumming content on here. Plenty of stuff to keep you and I busy for a while. Turn up my volume on here. Every single one of these has timestamps in the description, so you can jump to whatever BPM you want. There are several hundred grid variations. So you could be like, hey, I want to play this one, and then it'll jump you straight to it. And then, yeah, there's a bunch of technique stuff, bunch of marching-based stuff, etc. Keep adding a new one every single day. Now, the other day I tried to do cheese after an accent. Yeah, cheese after an accent. And it didn't work because it was written wrong. So I fixed that. So I'm going to pull that one up. Whee! Cheese after. Where are you? Nope, cheese after. Not that one? Yeah, this one. Okay, 2 days ago. Cool. So the problem is this one had the diddle right here on the fourth partial rather than the third partial. So, excuse me, fixed. Okay, actually, let me pull this up real quick. So I need to make sure that the volume is set correctly. I have to set it to 57% or it like just goes really loud. The gain is too high. Cool, we're good. All right. So we're going to warm up with this. And again, every single one of the timestamps, if you go into here, you can just click more, and then you can jump to whatever BPM you want. So because I have not drummed at all today, I'm going to start at 100. Just kind of get the blood flowing. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. Nice. Let's go to 105. I'm going to try and find a tempo, like range that would just feel comfortable to sit at for a few clicks. And then I'm going to do my stretch and massage routine. Do this real quick. Turn on the fan. Bad attack. Do I want to go faster? Or hold this? It feels quiet. Why is it so quiet? Is this low? No. This is up. That's up. We're on the drumming one. Yep. Why does it feel so quiet? All right, we'll continue here. Morning, Simon. How you doing today? I'll do one more rep, then I'll answer that question. It's a good question. Okay. Nice. Glad to hear you just chilling, playing some COD. All right, so excellent question. I'm going to answer this not just for you, but for anybody who might not know what either of those two symbols are. But the way I'm going to do this, I'm actually going to pull up a different resource on my website. So if we go back, under the top stuff, under Common Rudiments, there's a PDF here. I'm going to zoom in a lot. So that way it's just easier to see than on that screen. Okay. So the thing that I was playing is called a cheese. So it's broken down into a couple of different parts that we see for this. So one is the accent, so that just means playing it loud. And again, I'm just saying this for anybody who might not have the experience that you have, so that way they can understand the notation. So an accent, usually 9 inches, 12 inches, sometimes 6, depends on how loud you're playing. A tap, a note that does not have the accent, you play it nice and quiet. So this one right here is going to be loud, whatever these two things are. This symbol right here is called a flam. So a flam is where you play one note low and one note high. So here's what it looks like here. You always keep the grace note, which is this little note, down really low. So usually you drop it in from whatever height you're playing it. And it is executed right before the flam, the primary note. So it's not at the same time like this, but slightly before, but again, you keep it low, at least in rudimental percussion. In concert percussion, usually you can keep it about half the height, but there's many approaches for that. Okay, so when we were doing this, like the accents for playing just triplets, put the flam on it, it should look the same way, it just has a little ch sound instead of like a ta sound. Okay, now this thing, this little slash means a double stroke. So you do it twice as fast, so you do right. So if we got rid of the grace note, we just play. So if we have triplet, twice as fast would be dig-a-dut-dut, 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 dig-a-dut-dut. And you're doing it as a double stroke, so you're doing it 2 on a hand. So that's why the sticking right here is right, left, left. Now you combine the two, so you have a grace note right before you do the double stroke, and that's how you get a cheese when it's like this. So you get cheese, cheese. So what I was doing in that other exercise is I was playing an accent followed by a low cheese. So it goes chugga-da, accent chugga-da, tut-chugga-da, 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 tut-chugga-da. Okay? That hopefully answers the question, but those are the different notes that I was playing. So it was a combination of an accent followed by a cheese. So the diddle with the grace note with the little flam. And they were low. But good question. Okay. Wow. It's like getting wonky. That was weird. It like teleported on me. Cool. Let's stretch and massage. All right. So this one, we're going to have our palms facing up. So it's a good stretch. And then you pull in, you pull in. You end up with palm facing up again. Yeah. You are very welcome. There are many variations with those flams, those diddles, and the accents and taps and whatnot, and the grid variations. Like, you'll find that most of everything that is on those several hundred gritty variations on my website involve those. And again, because you can slow it down, you could play that at 20 beats a minute for the 16th notes, or as slow as 40 beats a minute on the triplet ones. Great little thing that you can work on. And it's like, if you primarily play kit, if you can put like flams and diddles on the things that you're doing, you can get some really interesting combinations using the hybrid rudiments and whatnot. If you do traditional, by the way, you can rotate, hold it there, and then rotate the other direction, hold it there. I don't do that anymore. Now, what I'm going to do is stretch. You could stretch one at a time, yeah? Or you could do it, ooh, that one feels great. Yeah. You could do it on the wall. The lower you go, the deeper the stretch. I'm going to do it on the pad today. So you just kind of put a little bit of weight into it, not too much. You don't want to tear stuff. It's funny, on YouTube last night, I got subbed by Eric Cartman. I'm seeing that in my mini feed. Thank you, Eric. I hope the rest of the South Park gang is doing good. Now I'm going to stretch the top side. So you could do it one at a time. You could do this on the wall. The higher you go, the deeper the stretch. You could do it on your legs. You could do it on the pad. Again, just don't put all your weight into it. Don't tear stuff. That would be terrible. Ha. Ha. Not a dad, but got those strokes, folks. Sorry, I had to. Okay, now we're going to stretch fingers. So we're doing thumb to thumb. These kind of stretches, Simon, you could do like in between rounds, like where you're waiting in the gulag. Or waiting for the zone to close or whatever. Just stretch. Keep your hands nice and relaxed. Something I should do more of in between rounds of like Fortnite. I need to finish getting caught up on all the timestamps for the old podcast episodes. Episode 100 or 200 released yesterday, and I have about 100 more to go through for like adding in timestamps. And once I do that, then I'm actually start streaming some single player games again. The next one I'm going to do is Callisto Protocol. Haven't done a horror game yet while streaming. Like Elden Ring had the vibe, but it wasn't like a horror style game, so we'll see how that goes. Let's see if I get jump scared. We're going to do massages now. I'm going to do thumb on top, fingers underneath. Hopefully they fixed some of the bugs that were in the game. At least the reviews initially said it was a wee bit wonky, but not quite like Cyberpunk wonky. Which apparently that game is great now, but I kind of want to play it pre-patch just to see how bad it is. But I had a friend who was like, no, trust me, it's not funny bad, it's just bad. Like, we'll erase your save file kind of bad or corrupt it. Okay. If only they had waited a few months, they may have had a stellar game. I know there's a whole bunch of factors to consider with it. Like, I have a friend who works at a developer, and they said that their publisher, like, was adamant that they release a certain way on a certain date for a certain price, and it just like totally messed up their timeline and whatnot. Nice. Yeah, having pad and sticks with you is wonderful. I used to take my pad and sticks wherever I went. Like if I had to spend time at the DMV, I would like just sit in a corner and just play like really quietly. And I have now since learned that probably just annoys everyone around me. So I'll either mentally practice or maybe just do like or the wrist at most, or just, you know, not make any sound because I don't annoy people. I've grown, I've matured. At least I like to think so. But, I mean, that's what led to getting the sticks signed by Tom Float that are up on the wall back there. Because at Disneyland, like, I had my sticks and pads because it was with friends and we would take turns, somebody holding the pad while we drum on it in the lines. Because what else are you going to do when you're waiting for like an hour to get onto a ride? I'm sure it annoyed everyone around us, but we were high school kids, so we didn't care. And I met Tom Float there, and he signed his own sticks, which was pretty cool. Back when he used to play on the trash cans there. Little percussion ensemble. Which Ralph Nader does stuff like that now. He, as far as I know, is still performing on the drumline for Disneyland, and that dude can play. I'm going to massage from the base to the tip of the finger. Do that a couple of times. If anyone's watching this and you haven't watched Ralph Nader on YouTube, go look him up. He plays a bunch of snare drum solos and duets and whatnot with just like other people, and watch his videos, and I'm like, yep, I need to go practice. And he seems like a really chill dude. So, GG's, Ralph. Keep it up. Ooh, tight finger. Stick with this one for a while. Stick there. Full of them today. Okay, so now that I've massaged and stretched and whatnot, now I'm going to go back to that exercise that I was doing, the cheese after an accent. Strong wife.
PR today.
GG's. Okay. 16th note grid, this one. And then we go back to... Where was it? There's too many of them. 28 variations. Cheese after. Okay, this one. Oh, it came out 2 days ago and it's got 47 views. Wow! That's pretty good. Alright, so I think 115 is where I left off, yeah. Okay, here we go. Let's see how my hands feel, and then we'll get into working on the wrist. Is that making sense now when you see what I'm playing? Based off of what you see in the sheet music? It's like, it's a cheese. It's just a low one. It's a fun one. Good little challenge. Okay. Skin is so dry. Awesome. Glad to hear that. I think this is going to be the breaking point. Stay tuned, folks. This morning's episode of Jared messes up publicly and keeps it up forever so people can learn. you. Okay, full disclosure. So about like a quarter of the way through, I was like, oh, I should really focus on relaxing the accents even more. So I really lightened up the touch, and it raised the taps a little bit, but it felt so much better. And then I screwed up at the end because I was just like focusing on that. Let's try this again. That was fun. Now I want to work on my left hand. My left is worse than your left. Your left. Okay, so the exercise that I'm going to use, or the tool rather, is called slow, fast, slow. So this one, if you go into the timestamps, the BPMs are different. So you'll see it always starts and ends at 40, but the number in the middle is what slowly goes up over time. So it's going to start at 40 beats a minute, and I'm going to go up to, let's do 90. Let's see how that goes. And then we'll go back down to 40, and it goes up one click at a time for 4 counts, all the way up to 90 in this case. And it'll hold it there for 16 counts, and then it'll slow it back down one click at a time until it goes down to 40. Okay, so that's why it's called slow, fast, slow, because you start slow, you go fast, and you end slow. And I'm going to do this specifically with just straight up 8 on a hand, but I'm not going to stop. It's going to be infinite on a hand. So I'm specifically trying to work on my left hand to get it so that it matches my right hand because, again, snare drum hands. I marched traditional for many, many years, and now I'm trying to get my left hand to actually look like and feel like my right hand. Because I want people to think I march tenors, even though I did not. Okay, so that's the goal, is I'm specifically working on my match grip and trying to get it so that they match. And the thing that I'm trying to focus on is get it so that my wrist, when I'm doing this, it moves fluidly. So I want the wrist to go up and down while I'm moving my stick. So like this, if you look at the overhead, it should do that when I'm playing, rather than like a motion where it's just like only finger and your wrist stays stationary, which is a technique that I was initially taught when I first started drumming in high school. They had us do that, and that leads to all sorts of tension and bad things for your hands. So I'm trying to keep nice and floppy wrist while I'm playing this. And my right hand is better than my left hand for right meow. Let's fix that. Okay, make sure volume's up. And let me go this. I'm going to do 16th notes. This is the boring part of the stream. This is the grind. Welcome to practicing. This is what it takes. So I'm looking down, specifically looking at the wrist angle. And the hands to make sure that my fingers are matching. Yes, I do feel it's more tense. It's also not as fluid of a motion. I don't get out of the way enough for the rebound. And it doesn't have as good of a sound quality. Should have set up my foot pedals this morning. Swap between those two. Itchy ear. Oops. Whoopsies. So I'm really focusing on like where I'm feeling pressure on my fingers, where the stick is vibrating, whoops, and hitting my hand and my fingertips. Trying to match them. Almost lost my sticks. Man down. Well, I guess I'm relaxed. All those little micro adjustments cause my stick to move around too much. Okay, now let's take a look at this. And then I'm going to slow this down. How? I'm going to play triplets instead of 16th notes. And then I'm going to slow that down. I'm going to play 8th notes instead of triplets. Okay, so let's go back to the camera angle where you can actually see. Da 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 da. Na, 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 na. let's critique my playing. So we're at quarter speed. So see how these are moving differently? That's not good. My left hand is a little slow compared to my right. It doesn't have as natural of a rebound on there. It's not getting the same height. Okay, my thumb positions are finally almost matched. The wrist positions are almost matched. That's getting better. So success there. This finger, I was messing around with like how much I was moving the fingers on and off the stick. So that could have just been in one of those moments. But it is coming off and it is different than my right. So I'm trying to match those. And you'll see that my left hand is not keeping up with the right. So this is not getting the same kind of motion as I'd like. It's not as high. So again, adjusting stuff. You'll also notice that this is a little bit flatter than the right hand. It's better than it was like a week ago. So some progress is being made. I can learn things. And again, I'm making micro adjustments with my hands. You'll see like the way that I'm holding it and whatnot. Just trying to get it so that I can finally get it to feel the same between the different hands. Okay. And then I'm going to switch over to top down. And I want to do that to look at what that looks like. Okay, right here. Oh, I missed the button. Key. Okay, so now we're on the top down. See how much flatter it looks? You can see like a nice angle here. And this is flatter. Like if you just look at the surface area from right here to right here versus from right here to right there, you can see just like how much flatter this is. And so that's not ideal. That's going to give me a different playing sound quality. I can't think this morning apparently. So yeah, I want to continue to correct this. The left finger's a little bit further out still than the right. That is also getting better. And my beads are slightly inconsistent in terms of like where they're actually hitting in the head. Simon, did you also play traditional? Or are you also a right-hander? I'm a right-handed person, so for myself, like, my left is just not going to be as coordinated as my right, and it's never going to be as good as my right, because I did several years playing a completely different technique. So I've accepted that fact, but it doesn't mean I can't work on it, so. Yeah. Yeah, it's that's an interesting idea. So for anyone who's in other chats, so purposely going to French grip to try and get that movement down. So I had a percussion professor, Mark Sunkett, who has since passed, and he phenomenal educator, like hands down, one of the goats. And he was working with me on timpani one semester. And instead of using finger French, he actually had me do rotary motion. And so he had me do this very like hyper extended like arms where you go out to here and you do a rotation like this. It looks super weird. It's like this rotary French. And he had me do this for like a month or so. And I was like, this just doesn't feel good. Like, why am I doing this? Like, it doesn't sound great. It doesn't feel great. And he eventually had me slowly shift over so that it was a French grip rather than this weird one. So I slowly moved over to here while maintaining that rotary motion. So it was a French grip without fingers, rotary to get power. Lots of power. That's the whole point of this technique. So he had me practice the extreme to get used to this motion, to develop the muscles, etc. So that way I could eventually switch over to here, because I had been used to like finger technique on timpani using the finger French rather than playing it like this. So yeah, sometimes it's good to practice beyond how you're actually going to play to then apply it into the actual technique you're going to do, so you can develop your muscles in a different way, or just kind of retrain your brain to think in a different way. And yeah, dude was phenomenal. So great educator. He was a great performer as well. So I'm very grateful I was able to study with him. All the greats. Right-handed, always played match. Traditional is terrible. Yeah, it just takes practice. I hear you on that one. Lots of practice. Always. All right, so let's go back here. And so this time I'm going to do it with triplets, and I'm actually going to slow it down. Instead of playing at 120, which would be like the same as 90 beats a minute, 16th notes, triplets at 120, I believe, if I'm mathing correctly. I'm going to go only up to 100. And again, I'm going to play triplets this time. To slow down this motion and really focus on that wrist, all that fun stuff. Is it muted? There we go. Okay, folks. Just wait for the tap off. I was like, why is it going so slow? Did I, like, write this in Sibelius and make it so it was an extended tap-off? No, it's at a quarter speed. I did that last time, too. Or one of the streams in the last week. Whoopsies. Yeah, we're going to play this at 10 beats a minute. I thought it was slower than it was. I know how to triplet. I'm noticing that my left is higher than my right in terms of my hand position, so I'm adjusting that. My technique slower is looking more consistent between the two hands. So there's progress being made, but when I go to the faster speeds, it breaks down, falls back into bad habits. So I just need to keep practicing slow. And eventually it'll transfer over into the faster tempi, which is plural for tempo. It's also a town I live in. Grew up in. Well, not really a town, as much as a city. Spelled differently, though. Extra rim shot for some extra seasoned drums. Flavor that. Adjusting my index finger. Trying to match them. Noticing tension in my shoulders. I appreciate it. Sometimes. Oh, there's some flams. This is like rehab for my hands. Trying to rebuild them. We can make them stronger. You know, sometimes you just gotta double check that gravity. Don't worry, folks. It's still working. You're safe. I'm a scientist at heart. Doing the work that nobody wants to do. Taking the risks that nobody's willing to take. Answering the questions everybody has. Not a scientist, but actually I'm a researcher. Or I guess I was. I don't do it anymore. I could be. I could start up again. Turned away grant opportunities and was like, nah. I'm gonna make YouTube videos. Be a professor? Nah. I'm gonna be a YouTuber. Look, Ma. So proud of me. Got that PhD. And now I'm a YouTuber. Actually, they are proud of me. They're just glad I'm doing something I enjoy. And they know I have options. I turned down a university position in December. I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. I'm going to do this instead. So I can make all the pennies. Not even monetize on YouTube yet. One day. Still gotta get 4,000 hours of watch time. Got the subs. That popping sound is good. Not that one. Okay, let's take a look at it. Let's publicly vlog my playing. Pause. Full screen. Quarter speed. All right. Feels like it's taking longer. There's where I dropped my stick. I mean, where I tested out gravity, because I'm a concerned citizen. Oops. Okay. See, the motion is still a little bit different on the left. Whoa! Wrong button. Whoever liked the video, I appreciate you. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. No, don't do that. I release, like, what, 10 videos a day or something between the shorts and the long-form videos? It's like every hour. Ding, Jared posted. Ding, Jared posted. Ding. Highly recommend not turning on the notification bell. Yeah, so the pinky's still coming off a stick. It's still, like, look how flat that is compared to that. I wasn't focusing on that until I got to the overhead, which let's skip to that, and you'll notice that, like, how flat that is, and then halfway through, like, the overhead camera was like, oh! I, like, looked over at it, and was like, ooh, that looks bad. And then my hands looked better after that. So see how it's less flat here? It's because I was actually paying attention to it more. And then I switch back. Okay, so yeah, it's getting better, but like, obviously it still needs some work. So, speaking of, we're gonna go to 100 and, what would it be? 150. Okay, so that'd be the same speed. Whew! This is gonna take like 11 minutes to go through. All right, well, stay tuned. It's gonna be a riveting stream. Unmute. Now I'm gonna do eighth notes. Same thing. Oh, good. Jared, remember, quarter speed is not how you want to play these eighth notes. So I'm trying to get out of the way of the sticks. Just let it rebound. This is going to be a long 11 minutes. Although, I took a couple of lessons with Jeff Queen. I took some time off school. He was doing a band competition where he's judging when I was in high school. And I was fortunate enough to get a couple lessons with him. And so, when I studied with him, he told me, hey, you need to go home and work on 8 on a hand, really refine your motion, make it so that when you play it slow, it looks the way you want it to when you're playing fast. You want to have that nice control, etc. And so I played 8 on a hand for like 8 hours. And I slowed it as slow as I could possibly go in front of my bathroom mirror. I just put like towels on the counter and just sat there in front of the mirror and like looked at it from every single angle. Just like looking around and just constantly refining it. I did that the day in between my 2 lessons with him, because I took 3 days off from school. Because honors kids, like, he had like legal days that you could take off without getting punished. It was really weird. It's like, we're rewarding you for being a good student by not going to school. Sweet. Thank you. So I took my lesson. I practiced 8 on a hand and some other stuff, like all day, the day in between. And then I went back to the lesson. And he's like, wow, usually when I tell people to like practice this, and like I tell them to go 1 click at a time, they don't do it. And I actually did. And so he saw significant improvement in that short period of time. So really slow this stuff down. It's a grind. It's boring. But like, it's the thing that most people aren't going to do. And if you do the 1% of things that everybody should do but nobody does, that the greats do to get good, you will get better. If you just sit there and focus on the fun stuff, like yesterday, I just had fun just doing a chop stream, just playing some different grid variations. But instead of doing that, if you just focus on like actually refining your technique and sitting with his grind, it makes for a very boring stream, but it makes it so that you, as an individual, get better as a performer. Which ultimately, that might be the goal that you're going for with practicing. Maybe not. I'm not trying to impose a certain way of improving onto you. You might be just drumming because you want to just have fun, or for social reasons. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. For me, I'm drumming because I just want to get better as a performer. And honestly, it's relaxing for me to drum. Like, it literally calms my nervous system down and whatnot. It might be like a form of stemming, because I got enough autism that could certainly be the case. But I don't know. But again, if you don't want to sit here and work on 8 on a hand for 11 minutes straight, just focusing on one motion, then don't. Work on something else. Many things to play, many things to work on. Whoops. Like not doing rim shots. That's something I could work on. Let's see, 150 is the max, so at 140 I'll switch over to that other camera view so we can take a look at it on our instant replay. That's the third time in a row. Consistency is key. Nope, don't do it again. Don't do it. One of these days I'm gonna break my monitor because the stick's just gonna go flying into it, or my camera or something, like it just flies into the overhead. And when I do, I'm going to pull up this clip and put it right with that one and share it on social media, because it's gonna happen, and I hope I will laugh and say, well, I called it. Gotta learn to laugh at mistakes. That was one of the big things, honestly, about starting to stream drumming stuff. Like a year and a half ago when I first started, I was used to practicing on my own, in private, making a bajillion mistakes, because I like to focus on the things I'm not good at. And when I started streaming that, I got so much anxiety. It's like, oh no, people are gonna see all my flaws with my playing. And I was like, well, is that something I want on the internet? I was like, yeah. I want people to see that even though I've been drumming for 25 years, and that, like, by many standards, I'm decent, I still have stuff I'm working on. So I was like, wait, that's actually a good thing that I make mistakes, because it shows people you will too. And that's okay, so don't beat yourself up over it. Like, having taught thousands of students from every grade, kindergarten through doctoral student, like, they all make mistakes. But the beginners, when it comes to making music, expect, especially if they're like adults or older or like high school and they start music late, they expect that they're going to be really good at it. It's like, no. You got to get the reps in. You got to do hot cross buns before you can figure out how to play, I don't know, velocities on marimba. Like, let's start with Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and then we'll get into Blue Devil's 99 shopping spree. Beginner mindset. Stay humble. Know there's always more to learn. And don't beat yourself up if it doesn't sound good yet. Try and figure out why. How can you refine it? How can you reverse engineer what good playing would sound like? Like tomorrow when I do drum kit stream, it's not going to sound good. But I'm practicing. It's going to sound good a year from now, or at least better. And 5 years from now, it'll be even better than that. And 10 years from now, it'll be even better than that. Really got to look long term with it. In my opinion. Well, the individual double stops are getting much better. It's no longer... That's an exaggeration, but no longer that. So the touch is getting more consistent. Touch is like a cute way of saying, like, the velocity, the sound quality of the sticks. How much are each of them resonating after you strike them on a surface? How loud are they? What angle or direction are you going into the head? What's the speed you're going into it? So the velocity, speed plus direction. Because if you slice with one of them and not the other, that's going to give you a different touch, a different sound quality. Hey, Simon, I appreciate it. Hope you got some wins in Call of Duty. As always, thank you for your questions. I hope you have a good day. All right. Let's take a look at this. And then I'm going to actually play... Yeah, let's do Blue Devil's 99 since I mentioned it earlier. Here. Go. Mute. Go. And let's go back. Oh, this is going to take a while. Oh, too far. And let's go to quarter speed. Spot check. Okay, a little low. Whoa. No! I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Play. Clicked too fast. Okay, yep, pinky's still coming off a little bit. Still got a little flat of an angle. Is better. Trying to pause it there. Okay, the thumb is almost right in alignment with it. It's just like a hair high on that. I can live with that. It's getting significantly better than it was like a week ago. It's like it's working. Look at that, folks. Yeah, so the left is still a little slow. With the rebound and whatnot. I need to get out of the way more, so I need to practice that more. Maybe I'll work on rebound next time. It's a good exercise for that. But the wrist is moving. That's what I want. Let's see the top-down view. Looks a little, yeah, it's still a little flat. So here to here is a greater distance than here to here. So still working on that. That's okay. Yeah, it's getting there. Slowly. but surely. Alright, cool. So we'll continue that grind. Another day. Alright, so we're back here, and I'm going to go ahead and do this chop exercise. Again, the thing that I was using, in case you're just joining, is slow, fast, slow. It's this one. Timestamps in the description with all these play-alongs, just like this one. Before I forget, look at this. I can be taught. We're going to normal speed. Wow. Go into the timestamps in the description, and you can jump to whatever BPM you want. So let's just go ahead and jump to 120. Nacho man. Play. Whoa! I left off the grace notes and everything. I was thinking about something else. Yeah, so I was thinking about like a short I'm going to make out of this exercise that I can share on social media. And that scarred me up. Jared, focus. Center. Whee. So squeaky. Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky. Squeakier there than the other pads I've got. Most of my pads aren't quite that loud. Include that in the review. Excellent squeak. 5 out of 5. Okay. 150. I think 165 is going to be my breaking point with this morning. Won't know till we try it. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dog hairs. Dun, dun, dun. Don't copyright strike me, please. Just have to believe in yourself. Where's the number? There's the number, Jared. You can number. I number. +7 energy. You can find this at jaredoleary.com/merch. I think there's like 20 some odd gaming mugs on there. There's also this shirt as a mug. The Note Mosaic. if you want to play along to that exercise as well as hundreds more, just go to jaredoleary.com/drum. There's actually thousands more. So, pretty sure we're over 1,000 with the play-alongs. We're definitely over 1,000 for the number of hours. 1,700. So 23 chop exercises. Got a bunch of different charts that I wrote. Several hundred grid variations. Bunch of technique stuff. Bunch of marching bass stuff. You can find the t-shirt that I'm wearing here if you click on this. You can see all the different variations. That's the mug I was talking about. And if you click, there's actually a bunch of different colors that you can select from. So you can pick your size and go, I want to see what autumn would look like. What about gold? What about red? Etc. So that's where you can find that. But if you want to see what kind of sticks, pads, all that stuff I'm using, if you go to /gear, that's how you can find that. Just click on percussion. That'll take you straight to the different headers for that. Like the practice pad I use, this one, and then I have this one, and then underneath that one I got this other small one. The sticks I'm using are the Hardeman hammers. They are great for building chops. So 10 out of 10 would build chops again. I'm going to call it here. Tomorrow I should be doing a drum kit stream. If you go to /schedule on my website, that's where you can find what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. No gaming stream tonight, but there will be Fortnite tomorrow. That'll be the last one for the season. And yeah, then there should be 3 Fortnite videos, I think, coming out later on this week before the new season starts. And I'll stream that on Saturday. All these times when, for whatever reason, it slowly loads, are in Eastern time. There we go. And if you click on it, you can go to any one of those platforms. So you can watch it on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Kick simultaneously if you want. Have fun with that. But I'm going to call it here. I appreciate everybody who stopped by. And Simon, thanks for chatting the entire time. But I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. And if you have questions that you'd like me to answer in a future stream about drumming or point to some resources that can better answer it, just ask it in one of the comments on YouTube or TikTok or wherever. But yeah, I will catch you all later. Goodbye.